Imagine you're in the midst of thousands of people. How can you say you're different to them? Suppose that you're a grown-up adult. How can you demonstrate it? Can you enumerate the people or the factors that helps you to be who you are today? This are our topic for today's study guide: identity, individual development, and social institution. Before we go to our topic, these are the list of goals and objectives that we need to attain while answering this module. At the end of the module, you will be able to: number 1, understand the differences of people and why you are different with others. Number 2, value the social institution that touches the lives of individuals. Number 3, demonstrate your own development in identity by the use of your creativity. Let me tell you an equation. Skills plus values equals you. These are the skills and values to be developed from the activity. Number 1, you will draw your most memorable experience and examine how it affects your life today. Number 2, open yourself to others by using the power of imagination through making scrapbook. Number 3, uplift your value as a unique individual and proud member of the society. Now that we know our set of rules and objectives, let us go to what to do for the list of instruction for the activities. Individual differences. According to Science Direct, individual differences point out the reality of traits that distinguish individuals. In the Encyclopedia of Social Psychology by Baumeister and Voss, they define it in terms of enduring psychological characteristics. Individual differences are the more or less enduring psychological characteristic that distinguish one person to another and thus help to define each other's personality. Among the most important kinds of individual differences are intelligence, personality, traits, and values. The study of individual differences is called differential or trait psychology. It is more commonly a concern of personality psychologists than a social psychologists. Individual differences are neither a fiction nor a nuisance. There are enduring psychological features that contribute to the shaping of behavior and to each individual's sense of self. Both social and applied psychology can benefit by taking this enduring disposition into account. Let's watch a video about appreciating individual differences. I used to live in a world full of hatred and hate, cursing languages, love, misery. I'm hoping that this is fantasy. What would it be like to live a world without discrimination? She's a lady, you're a man, I am too. Not the same features and physical, but we indeed have two hearts to love. She's fair, you're black, I'm blonde. Everyone is different. We're beautiful no matter what. She's tall, you're medium, I'm short. We're all imperfect, no matter what our height is. She's Victoria, Patricia, Helena, Elizabeth. You're Nelson Mandela, I'm Jose Rizal. We have differences, but the same. We love dreaming a perfect world of expression. She's a princess, you're a political leader, I'm an illustrator. We're all human, whatever social status are. She has orchids with palm trees beyond. You have speech from a duck. I have el filibusterismo, the similar fields, but one perspective to inspire people with our works. She's an artist, your former president. I am a doctor. Different jobs, different people, one right to be treated without discrimination. We are all intelligent in our own ways. There is no intelligent quotient test to judge whether to mingle with them or not. No ranks, no age, no status, no race discrimination. When we talk about kindness, fairness, and justice. In the world without discrimination, she can play with you and me. I can be best friend for both of you. You can borrow things from me and her. We can stay forever in one world, without guns, without bombs, without disruptive materials that can ruin our peaceful nature. We will love tranquility, embrace it within our hearts as we play kites in the wind. Is this world made up of kites? I wish it didn't. I hope it's real. Let's make those kites real. Start within ourselves. Love one another. After knowing what individual differences are, watch the film Every Child is Special, directed by Amir Khan. You can see the link in the next slide or you can tap it in the description section below. After watching the movie, answer the following question. Number 1. Who is the main character? Number 2. How did his family and school affect him? Number 3. Thus, the 9 years old protagonist differs from other children of his age. Explain. Number 4. How can you explain the line, what we can see, we feel is, and what we don't see, we feel isn't, but sometimes what we see actually isn't, and what we don't see actually is. Number 5. Is order, discipline, and labor alone as a motto in 21st century school is effective? Why or why not? Did you answer the question about the film Every Child is Special? If you did, great! Let's move forward to Activity 2 after appreciating the lessons and videos about individual differences and identity. The title of our activity is You and I are different, but we are unique. The protagonist in the film is the 9-year-old kid named Ishan Awasti. Your tasks are: number 1, give a statement that best describes you. Number 2, give a statement that shows what you like and how unique you are. Number 3, give a statement that shows your difficulties. Number 4, in one word, show what you need. Number 5, draw the most memorable experience and explain how it affects your life today. By doing this activity, you will know yourself more and you will feel how unique you are. Social institutions. A social institution is a complex, integrated set of social norms organized around the preservation of a basic societal value. Obviously, the sociologist does not define institutions in the same way as does the person on the street. Laypersons are likely to use the term institution very loosely for churches, hospitals, jails, and many other things as institution. According to Sumner and Kaler, institution is a vital interest or activity that is surrounded by a cluster of mores and folkways. Sumner conceived of institution not only of a concept, idea, or interest, but of an institution as well. By structure, he meant an apparatus or a group of functionaries. Lester F. Ward regarded an institution as the means for the control and utilization of social energy. L. T. Hobhouse described institution as a whole, or any part of the established and recognized apparatus of social life. Robert McReber regarded institution as established forms or condition of procedure characteristic of a group activity. Sociologists agree that institutions arise and persist because of a defined felt need of the member of the society. While there is essential agreement on the general origin of instructions, sociologists have differed about the specific motivating factors. Sumner and Kaler maintain the institution come into existence to satisfy vital interests of man. Ward believed that they arise because of social demand or social necessity. Lewis H. Morgan ascribed the basis of every institution to what he called a perpetual one. Primary institutions. Sociologists often reserve the term institution to describe normative systems that operate in 5 basic areas of life, which may be designated as the primary institutions. Number 1, in determining kinship. Number 2, in providing for legitimate use of power. Number 3, in regulating the distribution of goods and services. Number 4, in transmitting knowledge from one generation to the next. And number 5, in regulating our relation to the supernatural. In shorthand form or as a concept, these 5 basic institutions are called the family, government, economy, education, and religion. After the lecture, meditate the film Every Child is Special. In the film, can you enumerate the two social institutions that affects the protagonist Ishan Awasti? Why do you need these institutions? How can this institution affects you? Answer those questions to appreciate social institutions. After watching the video and reading the materials about development in the description below, make a scrapbook that shows your development through the years. Be as creative and as unique as you are. Goals achieved. At this moment, you understand the differences of people and why you're different with others. You value social institution that touches the lives of individual, and lastly, you demonstrate your own development and identity by the use of your creativity. Special thanks to every child is special, producer and director for creating a wonderful movie. Martennson for wonderful slide format. Zaid for the start and after effects. Google for picture use. Powtoon and Bitable.com for videos. Handbook of Self and Identity, edited by Mark R. Leary and June Price Tanji as a reference. Social institutions, meaning, characteristics, process of emergence, and theoretical perspectives on their role in the society by Nanwo and Ignatius Uche as a reference. Chapter 3 Self-Development as Online Reference PDF. Sociology Guide, a guide for sociology students as works cited and works consulted. Lastly, for the music and sound effects, special thanks to Ashamalub Music and N-Beats for positive pop rock background music and suspense sound effects in high quality. If you enjoyed this study guide, just click like and subscribe.